Hi, I'm Ruth Duber, and this is What's Cooking at Shelf Point. I have a new recipe today, and it's something that I've always liked. I've always liked cauliflower, but I've never really done too much with it except eat it raw. And I have a new little dressing here. It's just some green onions and some sour cream and some ranch dressing, and it's mighty good. This morning, Friday, I went to the fresh market, and they had some fresh cauliflower that was grown. It was picked, I think it was picked last night. So I have one head there to show you how beautiful it is. I called Colleen on the phone of the produce department and asked her if she was going to have cauliflower today, and she said, yes, I am. So when I picked this up, I had her save 2, and she only had 2 left. But it's fabulous cauliflower. It tastes so fresh. Well, it was grown here. It wasn't shipped. So we're going to make some soup today. The basic ingredient, of course, is the cauliflower, and calls for a medium-sized carrot. I just put these out to show you, and some celery, about 1/4 cup of celery. Now, the recipe did not call for onions. I put in maybe 2 tablespoons of chopped onions. I have a friend, June Lockhart, who is usually my taster, and she said, no, Ruth, it's a little bit flat. So you put chopped carrots and the chopped celery and your cauliflower, and 2½ to 3 cups of water that you bring to a boil, and add 2 teaspoons of this better than bouillon chicken. You could use bouillon cubes you put in too, but I really love this. I think it has a lot more flavor. And I kind of rounded out the teaspoons. It wasn't exact. So you put that all in a pot, and you cook it for about 20 minutes until it's tender, and then you make a sauce. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to go over to the stove, and I'm about ready to start. Here, if you want to take a look at the cauliflower, it's hot, so I'm going to take the lid off. If you want to just get a picture of it, it's just now finished. In fact, I can even take the lid off. Okay, for the sauce, we're going to take 3 tablespoons of butter, and we're going to let that melt. It's basically a cream sauce. And we're going to add the same amount of flour. And then we're going to add some salt. And it calls for about 3/4 teaspoon of salt. I don't think it really needs to be measured. I'm going to put that in with the flour. And 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. And that I sort of rounded out. It was June's suggestion. And so that will be the rest of our sauce. Okay, the butter's all melted and it's boiling. So we're going to pour this in. And you want to keep stirring. In fact, sometimes I take it off the stove. Okay, so we're going to do 2 cups of milk. Now we're going to add it, and I add it pretty slowly so that gets mixed in. That keeps it from getting lumpy. I'm going to turn this up to high, and you should stay with it and keep stirring it because you don't want to scorch it. I'll talk a little bit about cauliflower. It is a member of the cruciferous family of vegetables, overshadowed often by its cousin broccoli. But if you look at the cauliflower, it does have a lot of green leaves underneath it. This is one vegetable that deserves regular rotation in your diet. It has an impressive array of nutrients, including vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and other phytochemicals. So it is good for you, even though it's not green. This is just about where we want it. Okay, here we go. Just all of a sudden, it gets thick. So in goes the cheese. I'm going to guess that's about a cup. Now here's where the little whisk comes in handy. And we're going to add it. To this, I have it just simmering. Okay, now I happen to like my soup not quite so chunky, and so I am going to use the blender. I find I use the immersion blender quite a bit. So here we go. Now I'm going to leave a few chunks in there so that you know you're eating cauliflower soup. I'll dish a little out here in my June Lockhart wonderful little bowl with cocopelli on it. Now this is going to be really, really hot, so I don't know how much of a spoonful I'm going to take, but I hope you'll try it. I'm going to put the recipe up on the website, and it really is delightful. This is really wonderful to do on a chilly day like we've been having. I hope you'll try it. Bye-bye.